Welcome to the Wise Old Bat, the channel where we cut through the noise and expose how misinformation both manipulates and divides us. I'm your host, your friendly neighborhood Wise Old Bat, and today we're kicking off this channel with a bang, breaking down one of the internet's favorite tricks, cherry-picking data. If you've ever seen a viral post that made you feel really outraged but didn't quite add up, you've already encountered misinformation. Unlike disinformation, which is straight up lying, misinformation is more subtle. It's about leaving out context to push their own narrative. So let's dive into an example that's been making the rounds on Twitter, I don't call it X, and show you how no group is a monolith, no chart tells the whole story, and we'll discuss why they're using this tactic to pull us apart. Now this viral post compares women's median earnings across ethnic groups to white men's, suggesting that certain women are out-earning white men, and by a lot. It's designed to provoke outrage and resentment. But let me tell you a secret. This chart is lying by omission. The truth, there's a lot they're not telling you, and that's where the real story lies. First, let's add men's earnings into the mix. Look at that. Men across all these groups earn significantly more than women. So no, this isn't about women taking over. It's about the persistent gender wage gap. Next, we layer in white women's earnings. Even within the same racial group, women earn less than men. This disparity exists across the board. So now let's add in the black and brown folks, because without them we don't have a complete picture. And look, when we do, white men seem to be not doing quite as badly as we were led to believe, right? So let's keep going. Now let's get to the heart of the misinformation. The original poster, at the rabbit hole 84, and by the way, isn't it a curious coincidence that he created his Twitter account in January of 2022, the month before Russia invaded Ukraine? But, I'll get to that in a different video. The real story here is simple. People with higher education earn more money. It's not about race or gender conspiracies. It's about access to opportunity and degrees that open doors. Take Taiwanese women, for example. 83% of them have either a bachelor's or advanced degree, which is a lot higher than white men, where only 66% fall into those categories. And because so many of those women work in STEM fields, which tend to pay more, their average earnings surpass those of white men. Now let's look at the Black and Hispanic populations. According to the 2019 census, these groups have far fewer workers with bachelor's or advanced degrees, which significantly impacts their overall earnings. That's not because of a lack of effort, but because of systemic barriers like unequal access to education and resources make it harder to reach those milestones. And what about those viral claims? They completely ignore people working multiple jobs to survive. A person juggling 2 or 3 low-paying jobs might earn more than a white man on paper, but that doesn't mean they're better off. The hourly wage difference is stark, and these aren't easy wins, they're survival strategies. So let's be clear, education correlates directly with earnings. When more people have access to higher education, it closes wage gaps. But access isn't equal, and there's the dividing line the original post conveniently ignored. So why did posts like this go viral? Because they play on your emotions. By cherry-picking data, they provoke fear, resentment, and division. They want you to think that someone else is stealing your opportunity, which they call, who in the class knows, DEI. But here's the truth. Inequalities like the wage gap affect everyone differently. The real culprits are systemic issues like unequal access to education, childcare, and fair pay. This isn't just about exposing one misleading post. It's about understanding how misinformation works. It thrives on oversimplification, turning complex realities into easy villains. In this case, those villains were foreign-born women, and now I've saved the best for last. How many people are we actually talking about here? They're proportionally small groups. Many of these subgroups constitute a minute fraction of the U.S. population. For instance, even the largest subgroup, Chinese Americans, make up about 1.57% of the total population. Let's take Taiwanese American women, the group earning the most in this chart. They make up just 0.06% of the U.S. population. That's fewer than 100,000 people. In a country of 330 million, you could fit them into Jerry Jones's football stadium. According to the 2020 census, there were 204.3 million white Americans, 61.6% of the population. So when you add up all the groups in this chart, we're still talking about a tiny fraction of Americans. Yet posts like this turn these small numbers into a national outrage machine. That's the power of cherry picking, making a mountain out of a statistical molehill. If we want a stronger, fairer society, we have to reject these divisive narratives and dig deeper for a full picture.
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the dirt.
Like Miss Joan Crawford said, I'm not mad at you, Republics. And I'll call you the right name when you learn how to say Democratic. I'm mad at the dirt. And the dirt here is the deliberate misuse of information to pit us against each other. At the Wise Old Bat, my mission is simple. Expose the tricks, arm you with facts, and help you think critically. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe, share the video, and check out my Substack at thewiseoldbat.substack.com, where we dive in even deeper into these topics. Together we can cut through the noise and demand better. Thanks for watching, and remember, no group is a monolith, but we're all in this together.